Have you ever felt that your mind is always full of noise, as if the world is constantly pulling you to chaos? The non-walking traffic, the notification that interrupts, that conversation that takes you seriously. It seems that we are always ready to react, speak without thinking, annoying for small things. But what if there was a way of staying serene, even in the middle of the storm? Stoics have discovered this secret for centuries: the power of silence, patience, and self-control. And today, you will learn how to apply this wisdom to be calmer, more presence, and more influence on your own life. Speaking without thinking is a trap that has already caught everyone at least once. The impulse of responding in the heat of the moment may seem irresistible, but how many times has it brought you regret? A word said at the wrong time can have consequences that do not go back. It's like trying to get a launched arrow back. Stoicism teaches that true power is in pause, the ability to take a deep breath before releasing words you can regret later. Silence can be a power strategy. Have you realized that really influential people speak little, but when they talk, each word has weight? While most are concerned about filling each space with opinion, those who know how to use silence gain respect and attention. This does not always mean whether to shut up, but choose when and how to speak. Silence is not weakness. It is a tool of self-control and wisdom. Stoics had techniques to avoid speaking on impulse. One is the pause of reason before answering. Ask yourself if your speech is necessary, useful, and respectful. If the answer is no, perhaps it is best to remain silent. Another strategy is deep breath, but seconds of air entering and leaving can save you from a useless discussion. The secret is in the observation. The less you react to chaos, the more control you have about yourself. We live in the age of excessive information, where everyone feels the need to give an opinion on everything. But is speaking always synonymous with wisdom? The great leaders and Stoic philosophers knew that true power is in strategic silence. If you want to develop emotional intelligence, self-control, and influence, you need to learn to talk less and listen more. The modern world presses so that everyone is connected all the time, but who dominates the art of silence gains respect and authority. People who speak little, but with impact, gain more respect and admiration. Notice the great speakers and leaders. Your words are measured, your answers are well thought out, and your silence carries a greater weight than many impulsive lines. In personal development, silence is not absence, but total presence. Listening actively creates deeper connections and improves their relationships. The patience to wait for the right time to speak can be the key to more assertive communication. If you want to learn to practice silence intelligently, adopt simple but powerful techniques. The first of these is active listening. Instead of thinking about your next answer, focus on what the other person is saying. Another strategy is the golden break before talking, breathing and asking if that speech is really necessary. Small changes like these strengthen your emotional intelligence, increase your self-control, and make you someone wiser and more respected. The ego is one of the greatest saboteurs of inner peace. The need to always have the last word may seem harmless, but deep down it is a sign of insecurity. Stoicism teaches that self-control and emotional intelligence are much more valuable than gaining discussions. How many times have you caught in debating something meaningless just to prove it was right? Silence, in this case, is not submission, but a demonstration of power. You don't have to win all the battles, just the ones that really matter. Speaking without need is often a reflection of the restless ego. The desire to show knowledge, to rebut criticism, or justify it at all times can lead to unnecessary wear. Instead of reacting on impulse, practice observation and patience. Ask yourself, does this really need to be said? If the answer is no, choose the silence. Self-control in communication not only improves its presence, but also strengthens its influence on others. A powerful strategy to tame the ego and avoiding unnecessary discussions is the technique of conscious breathing. Before you answer, make 3 deep breaths and reflect if it will add something positive. Another approach is the time test. If this conversation is not relevant in a month, you may not be worth spending energy on it. Silence, when well applied, preserves its peace and avoids unnecessary emotional wear. who dominates the art of silence becomes stronger and more respected. Life is full of small daily battles, but not all are worth their time and energy. Often, the best answer to a provocation, a founded critique, or a malicious comment is simply silence. In Stoicism, we learn that true wisdom is not reacting to everything, but in intelligently choosing which battles really matter. Those who dominate self-control and patience can avoid unnecessary wear and maintain serenity even in the face of chaos. There is a dangerous illusion that we need to answer everything. Whether in a casual conversation, on social networks, or at work, there is always someone trying to pull us for useless debate. But reflect, will your answer change anything? Is it worth going into a discussion that will only consume your mental peace? Strategic silence is a powerful tool. He demonstrates emotional control and strength, while excess words can only feed the noise and generate repentance. Choosing your battles is not weakness, but intelligence. Before you answer, ask yourself, does this really deserve my attention? If the answer is no, practice the art of silence. Many situations are solved alone when we no longer give them energy. In today's rapid world, where everyone wants to be right, those who know when shut up, and when they talk become more respected, influential, and, above all, more peaceful. Modern life can be a true drama and chaos theater, where many try to engage in conflicting situations. Sometimes all we want is peace, but the noise of the world seems to swallow us. Stoic philosophy teaches us that silence is a powerful weapon against the drama of others. When you decide not to get involved in futile discussions, it gains not only serenity, but also controlling your own energy. It is like a filter that protects you from distractions that have no relevance to your purpose. Stoics, such as Seneca and Epictetus, knew that silence is often the best answer to the drama. Participating in useless gossip or discussions only adds more fuel to the fire. Before you get carried away by a chaotic situation, take a break. Ask yourself, do I really need to get into this drama? If the answer is no, take a deep breath and move away. Silence is not apathy, it is emotional intelligence. It allows you to preserve your inner peace and your energy. Chisme and drama are like viruses, they spread quickly when fed, but they lose strength when they do not receive the attention they seek. By choosing to get away from these situations, you not only keep control of your life, but it also becomes an example of wisdom and self-control for others. Silence is a form of respect. You respect your peace, your energy, and even the people around you. When there is nothing constructive to say, silence is always the best option. Before impulsively responding to any situation, the pause may be your greatest ally. Stoic philosophy teaches us that by practicing conscious breathing and reflection before speaking, we avoid many unwanted situations. Marco Aurelio, for example, emphasized the importance of filtering thoughts before verbalizing them. In a world where quick reactions are valued, taking a moment to calm down and reflect is a sign of true self-control and wisdom. This break in a few seconds can make all the difference in the quality of your answer. Many unnecessary discussions could be avoided if people simply stopped and breathed before reacting. By taking this simple step, you allow yourself to think, does this really need to be said? By applying this technique, you not only become more serene, but it also gains an influence. The power of a thought, instead of an impulsive reaction, is immeasurable. Great leaders and sages dominate the power of the break because they know that by taking time to think before speaking, words gain much more weight and relevance. It is not about avoiding the conversation, but to choose the right time to contribute constructively. As with any other skill, the practice of the pause transforms the way you communicate, making your words more impactful and your presence more respected. Being silent does not mean disconnecting from the world or the conversation. In fact, silence can be one of the most powerful forms of presence. By not hurrying to fill each moment with words, you become more attentive and focused on what is happening around you. This is a clear example of self-control. Instead of reacting impulsively, you observe, breathe, and process before you interact. Who really listens and observes is more present. And this is something rare in the agitated world we live in. In a conversation, often attentive silence and active listening can be more impactful than a flood of words. When you choose to be silent and listen carefully, you show respect and empathy for the other person. It is not about walking away, but about being completely available for the moment. The presence in silence is also a form of emotional breathing, as you give space to process feelings and react more clearly and less impulsivity. For example, if someone approaches you at a time of great emotional tension, it can be much more effective to be quiet and hear than trying to offer hasty consolation words. Often a simple "I'm here" expressed through your silent presence conveys much more than any speech. Silence, when used with wisdom, becomes a powerful tool for deepening connections and strengthening its influence on delicate situations. We have all been through those days when everything seems to go wrong. The traffic stopped, the people around us talking too much, the incessant noise that seems to follow us wherever we go. The desire to explode and respond impatiently is strong, but Stoic philosophy teaches that true strength is to control these impulsive reactions. Take a deep breath, take a break, and remember that what is under our control is our thoughts, and words can be the key to avoiding regrets. Self-control becomes even more important when we deal with situations that take us from seriously. Imagine that, like a pressure cooker, anger or frustration can accumulate, and if we do not control the release of this steam, we may end up burning us. Stoics propose that, before reacting impulsively, we stop to breathe and reflect. Simply counting up to 10 can give your brain time to process what is happening, reducing the chances of a negative response that may harm the situation or your inner peace. This strategic patience is a kind of silent power. As the saying goes, silence is the strongest answer we can give. Sometimes not saying anything is more powerful than talking, especially when it comes to avoiding emotional wear and tear. When irritation beats, try giving yourself a few seconds to breathe, recover control, and choose an answer that comes from calm and not impulsivity. This is not weakness, but a true example of wisdom and resilience. Have you realized that often, who speaks less is what gets the most attention? Silence has extraordinary power, which is often underestimated. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, who knows when and how to shut up is the one who really stands out. When speaking less, but impactful, your words gain more weight. It's as if you were a person who has an arsenal of wisdom, but chooses to use it with discernment and strategy, showing self-control and wisdom each time they decide to be silent. The great leaders, wise and philosophers have always knew that words without reflection can be empty and even destructive. Silence, on the other hand, is a tool of power and respect. When you actively listen, instead of reacting quickly, you create a deeper connection with the people around you. At the right time, your words will be not only heard, but also respected and absorbed more carefully. The influence you exert in this process does not come from excess speech, but from the quality and depth of your words when you finally decide to use them. Respect grows when you know you can choose your battles and speak only when you really have something valuable to add. In a meeting, for example, the focus is no one who speaks more, but who stands out for his ability to listen and reflect. Silence, when well applied, is a sign of power, the power to control your emotions, choose the right moment, and keep calm in the midst of noise. Sometimes the biggest superpower you can have is control over when shut up. Now that you understand the importance of silence and strategic breaks, it's time to put it all into practice. Remember, control is not just in the words we chose, but in those we decided not to say. By applying the Stoic teachings of patience, resilience, and self-control in your daily life, you will begin to realize the depth that silence can bring to your relationships and decisions. It is a journey of self-discovery and transformation, where serenity and reflection will be its best allies. Are you ready to take control over your words and reactions? The more you train the art of staying silent at the right times, the more powerful you will become your presence and influence. Take a deep breath, observe, and choose wisely. True wisdom is knowing when to talk and, even more important, when to shut up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to track more content like this, which will help you apply Stoic principles in your life and achieve more serenity and wisdom. Let's go together on this transformation journey.